Hey everyone, how's it going? So a lot of you have been asking me to do a run with Starmie, and I fully intend to at some point. For today though, I want to do another first form evolution run, but with Staryu. And Staryu is an interesting Pokemon. I mean, I want to talk about its move pool first, because it has a great move pool. A ton of powerful special moves, and that takes advantage of its decent special. Of all first form Pokemon, Staryu's 70 special puts it in the top 8, at least in a tie for top 8. And its overall base stats of 285 put it in the top 10. So it looks like Staryu is going to do pretty well, right? Well, there's one major obstacle I see, at least right off the bat. And that is that Staryu does not have the J-Ro subscriber bonus. Okay, I'm kidding. Please subscribe if you want to, but the actual problem is the first part of Staryu's move pool. It only gets Tackle until level 17, and I don't know if that's going to be enough to defeat Brock. Before I even attempt Brock, I want to defeat two other difficult trainers. The first is Rival 1A. His Pokemon are weaker and have worse base stats. He leads with a Pidgey, and Pidgey is very hard to defeat. Every one of Gust at level 10 is doing 5 or 6 damage, and if it uses Sand Attack, I can just miss forever. At this level, I am consistently knocking out Pidgey, but I only get 100 experience points, and while I come close a few times to knocking out Bulbasaur, right now it's just not happening. In fact, it takes all the way until level 12 until I'm finally able to defeat Rival 1A. Gust is still doing 5, but because I have more HP and I get a crit, I can knock out Pidgey without it having used Sand Attack. And then when it comes to Bulbasaur, at level 8, it doesn't know Vine Whip yet. So while Leech Seed is annoying, if I don't get Leech Seed early on, first of all, it doesn't take very much away. With 32 HP, it's only taking 2 and restoring 1, because it takes away 1/16. And you can see I'm slowly able to knock out Bulbasaur, and I don't even level up here. Why is that? Well, this is another problem with Staryu we should discuss. Staryu is part of the slow level up group. Pokemon don't all level up the same way, and of the 4 groups that exist in Generation 1, Staryu and Starmie for that matter, level up the slowest, a group reserved mostly for legendary Pokemon. So that's going to be an issue. Having said that, now that we've defeated Rival 1A, we can defeat the Junior Trainer, or at least attempt to. As you're going to see, that's not going to be so easy. We can knock out Diglett at half HP, but Sandshrew still does 6 HP per scratch, and it knows Sand Attack. So while we can do some damage, without absurd luck, we're not going to knock out Sandshrew. And while, yes, this is an optional trainer, if I can't defeat this Diglett and this Sandshrew, there's no chance I can defeat the far more powerful Geodude and Onix that also resist Tackle. Obviously, that means we have to level up, and the easiest way to do that, other than battling wild Pokemon, is to just knock out Diglett. Every time you do so, you get nearly 200 experience points, and you can try to knock out Sandshrew. Unfortunately, even if you have a lot of HP, you really need Sandshrew not to use Sand Attack, or you can just miss so often. It not only becomes hard to hit, but it can take forever for Sandshrew to knock you out. I'm going to be perfectly honest, I don't know if battling wild Pokemon would be better. It would take 4 Metapod or Kakuna, which only appear 40% in Viridian Forest, and are not one-hit KO'd, or 7 random wild Pokemon to make up for the experience points I get quickly with Diglett. So as long as I get knocked out relatively quickly, it's okay. Eventually though, as we level up more and more, we're gonna win. Diglett is now only doing 4 damage per scratch, and we do just a little bit more to Sandshrew. Plus, when you get some critical hits, it can really help. This battle actually looked pretty much hopeless because of all the sand attacks, and I came really close to losing, but thankfully on what could have been the last turn had Sandshrew used Scratch, I actually hit with Tackle, knock out Sandshrew, but I still don't think we're ready to defeat Brock. Obviously, I don't expect you to take my word for it, plus I kind of want to see myself how this goes. So I'm going to battle, I only have Tackle, Geodude's Tackle does 5 damage, and my Tackle, if I get a crit, does a lot, but otherwise is doing barely anything. I don't think we're even going to come close to knocking out Geodude, let alone defeating Brock. It's pretty clear to me at level 15, our best way forward is just to level up 2 more times and come back with Water Gun. But of course, just like last time, even though I knew there was no chance I could win, you're seeing I'm battling Brock at level 16. It is going pretty much exactly the same as last time. It's taking forever, so I'm going to reset. And yeah, let's just come back at level 17. This battle will be a complete joke. So now we are at level 17. We go for Water Gun. We knock out Geodude in one hit. We go for Water Gun. We knock out Onix in one hit. Very, very good. This took almost 30 minutes of real time to do and almost 2 hours of in-game time, which is crazy. Yes, it was a later attempt and at single speed, but Mewtwo was able to defeat the entire game in under 2 hours, and Staryu hasn't even been able to defeat Brock in that amount of time. But surely, now that we have Water Gun, a same type special move, and we've defeated Brock, the rest of the run's gonna be easy. No, we're gonna head to Cerulean City. And obviously, battling Misty and her water Pokemon isn't gonna be easy, so I decide to battle Rival 2. Even though it took me 2 hours to defeat Brock, I'm still only 1 level higher than Pidgeotto at this point. Pidgeotto's going for Quick Attack, so I don't know if I'm outspeeding. It looks like Water Gun's doing a third. Another Quick Attack, another Water Gun, and alright, well we do outspeed, but it's not quite doing a third. Hopefully Pidgeotto doesn't hit with Sand Attack. Thankfully it doesn't, but because we got another Quick Attack, we're at only 14 HP, heading to the final 3 Pokemon. Abra can't attack, so I'm not really worried about it, and we get a nice critical hit to save time. Rattata can attack, maybe. We outspeed, we go for Water Gun, very close to knocking out Rattata, and that's what I was worried about, Hyper Fang. If it doesn't go for Quick Attack, which it doesn't, we can knock it out, but now we're going to lose to Bulbasaur. By level 17, Bulbasaur does know Vine Whip, not that it matters, Tackle will knock me out. Doesn't use it the first turn, nor does it use it the second turn, but on the third it does. All that leveling up, all that time, we're not even able to breeze past Rival 2. I did try this battle a few more times, but I couldn't really get a better result at my current level. Pidgeotto usually got either 2 to 3 attacks, and if it didn't, it hit me with Sand Attack, which was pretty much just as bad. We get to Bulbasaur at 16 HP, but as you're going to see, it's not going to make much of a difference. We come very close to knocking it out, but all it takes is one Vine Whip, and it's over. So I'm going to have to level up a little bit more. I have no intention of battling Misty, but there are trainers in her gym, one mandatory, one optional, and I think it's time to battle them both. Their Pokemon give tons of experience points, so I should level up at least once, maybe twice, which could help with Rattata. So after leveling up, I try again to battle Rival 2. Water Gun seems to be doing more damage, Quick Attack less, but unfortunately it gets a critical hit Gust. So while I do make it past in 3 hits, we have only 15 HP headed to the final 3 Pokemon. I'm going to quickly knock out Abra, but the big question is whether or not Rattata will be knocked out in 1 hit. It will. It does have Quick Attack, but I make it to Bulbasaur at 17 HP. Because of the way my stats are, Water Gun's doing just about as much damage as Tackle would, plus Bulbasaur starts to spam Growl, and if you get good enough luck, including a critical hit, it is possible to beat Rival 2 at this level. And in case you thought that battle was a little too lucky, don't worry, we get to see it again because I make a mistake and forgot to save. So when I reset, look where I am, right back at Rival 2. I lost 3 times, mostly due to Sand Attack, but we got a critical hit. We do get hit with Sand Attack, but we are at full HP, and hopefully it stays that way. We miss once to Abra, but that's okay. We don't miss to Rattata, although it does get a critical hit, and Water Gun doesn't one-shot, which is awful, but with some clutch crits against the Bulbasaur and lack of Growl, we're able to use Tackle because of the badge boost from Sand Attack. That is a weird sentence, but it's true. And we are able to make it past Bulbasaur, even though we had less accuracy. It was a really lucky battle, and this time I'm going to be smart, and I'm going to save, so I never have to do this battle again. Now, normally at this point, I would defeat everyone on Nugget Bridge and all the way up to Bill's house. However, I start to run out of HP, and coincidentally, I level up. And now that I'm at level 22, I can learn the move Harden. And it is with this move, I think I will be able to defeat Misty. I need to go back to the Pokemon Center anyway to heal. I'm out of power points, I'm out of HP, and I think we can get Bubble Beam by defeating Misty. Let me show you how. So if you look in the description of the video, you'll get a more detailed explanation of what's about to happen. But essentially, when you defeat gym leaders in red, blue, and yellow, you get boosts to various stats. Brock gives you a boost to attack, but there's a problem with the way this is implemented. Every time your stats change, all the stats you have badge boosts for get increased by an additional 12.5%. This leads to the hilarious situation that by using Harden, I gain more attack. It does take a while to set up, but because Misty has good AI, she won't use her better water moves and instead will just use normal moves or an X defend, which is really annoying. Speaking of annoying, Staryu gets multiple crits, leaving me at only 21 HP, but this should be good enough for Starmie. It's not going to do anything unless it gets a crit, and X defend sucks, but hopefully this is going to work out. We just use Tackle and hope for the best. If there's a critical hit, it ignores the X defend, but it also ignores my badge boost. Funny enough, it seems to be doing the same amount of damage. Starmie isn't getting any crits. There's the miss I need, and with 9 HP to spare, we have defeated Misty, and more importantly, can teach Bubble Beam, a 65 base power attack, and something I think will help me with a trainer I'm really worried about. If you remember from the Onyx run, this Oddish trainer was a nightmare, but thankfully, even after Absorb restores HP, Bubble Beam is still a 2-hit KO on both Oddish, and had I not defeated Misty and was still relying on Water Gun, there is no chance in heck I could have beaten this trainer at my current level. There's just no way. So we saved a ton of time beating Misty first. Plus, if we want to, once we end up defeating Rival 3, we can at least try to defeat Lieutenant Surge, since we will be able to use Cut outside of battle, which requires me to defeat Misty. Speaking of Rival 3, he is the next mandatory trainer. We use Bubble Beam, thankfully Pidgeotto misses with Sand Attack, that's a 1 in 4 chance, and we knock it out. Raticate I'm hoping will be a 1-hit KO. It goes for Quick Attack, Bubble Beam is a 1-hit KO. Kadabra is going to be a 2-hit KO. I miss with Tackle and thankfully get double teleport. But now we need to defeat Ivysaur, and it won't help with a Generation 1 miss. 1 in 256 chance that happens. It's going to be really close after that Vine Whip. Leech Seed is slowly taking my HP away. Very close, but Ivysaur, you got this one. As we battle him again, you'll notice that we don't have Body Slam. That was not an oversight. Staryu cannot learn Body Slam for some reason. It's really strange, but if we had it, it would make this battle a lot easier. We could rely on that instead of having to use Bubble Beam and hope for a critical hit against Ivysaur, which is how we win. Very annoying. I would have had to have battled more trainers because I would have leveled up in the middle of the battle, but we probably could have set up Harden against Raticate since it doesn't know Sand Attack, and that would have helped out against Kadabra and Ivysaur, but my method worked too. And because I see no reason not to, might as well try battling Lieutenant Surge. He is the electric gym leader. Bubble Beam's not that powerful a move. I'm not even really that over-leveled, so I don't think I stand a real chance, but then again, Surge at this point isn't a real lieutenant. So maybe it'll go okay. Alright, so Surge leads with Voltorb. I'm going to go for Bubble Beam. Voltorb goes for Tackle. We knock it out in 2 hits. The next Pokemon is Pikachu. We outspeed, we one-shot. So we're pretty much at full HP for Raichu, but I'm pretty sure one Thunderbolt is going to knock us out. We go for Bubble Beam. We get the speed drop, which is cool because Raichu just got an X speed, so we'll still outspeed it. We go for Bubble Beam again. Speed drop. Thundershock? Oh my goodness. Oh, critical hit. You know what? We just won. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Holy moly. A critical hit too. I mean, Thunderbolt would have done more than a critical hit Thundershock. So I was right. It would have one-shot. But still, with the Pokemon weak to his electric moves, we first tried Lieutenant Surge. Or sorry, I don't know, busboy Surge? I don't even know what his occupation is anymore, because in reality, the only thing he seems good at is losing Pokemon battles. But while it's always fun to make fun of Lieutenant Surge, what isn't fun is this junior trainer just to the east of Cerulean City after you cut down the tree. She has 2 Oddish and 2 Bellsprout, and she was incredibly difficult to defeat. You see, even though we've defeated some difficult trainers, we still don't have a good move to use against grass Pokemon. Bubble Beam is the best move, and when they use Absorb, they use Poison Powder, I lost several times to this random junior trainer. Based on what you just saw, you might be wondering how I actually won. The answer is kind of interesting. Thankfully, we get a crit and a miss against Oddish. We're at 49 HP. Bellsprout puts us to sleep, which would be a problem if it didn't miss not once, not twice, 3 times with Wrap, and then go for Growth. So we're going to have to start going for Tackle. It does use Wrap, but once we knock out Bellsprout, we're still at 41 HP, and now we make room for Recover. I'm going to delete Tackle because Recover should help gain some HP back, and while it does waste a little time, it did end up making this fight consistent enough to win, because as much damage as they do with Absorb or Wrap Poison, it's not enough to make up for how much I gain back, 50%, with Recover. To my knowledge, this is the first time I've used an HP restoring move strategically in one of these runs. It's not just because we're trying to beat them as fast as possible, but it is optimal when you only have one Pokemon to forgo healing moves and just use moves of as many different types to get maximum coverage. Unfortunately for Staryu, even as we enter what I consider to be the second quarter of the game, it still doesn't have decent coverage for grass Pokemon. Once we make our way to Celadon City, we will get coverage moves for grass Pokemon, but there's still one more junior trainer before then, and she's also very annoying to defeat, since the Oddish knows every status move plus Absorb. And so you have to use Recover, and you gotta get a little lucky, because if it uses something like Stun Spore, it outspeeds and can actually knock me out before I have a chance to use Recover. But wait, it gets even better, because even when I win, it doesn't really feel like a total victory, because if Oddish paralyzes or poisons you, unless you have an antidote or a paralysis heal on hand, in this case I don't have either, you have to go back to the Pokemon Center in order to heal, because you won't have enough HP to make it through Rock Tunnel, or you'll be paralyzed and you could possibly lose. So that's really aggravating. But you want to know what's even more aggravating? Once we make it to Celadon, there are no more mandatory grass Pokemon, aside from the ones in Erika's gym, that as you've learned, we can kind of battle whenever we want. So we can just head down to the Rocket Game Corner and eventually battle Giovanni. Now this might not surprise you, but with a water Pokemon, Giovanni is quite easy. We one-shot both Onix and Rhyhorn. Kangaskhan is a 2-shot. Actually, it's a 3-shot. I thought it would be a 2-shot, my bad. But didn't really do any damage. And so we're able to go back to the Pokemon Center. We just have to remember to heal somewhere. And we can go and do our shopping. And this is going to serve 2 purposes. We can buy some calciums, and we can get some fresh water. Not only so we can enter Saffron City, but also so we can get TM13 Ice Beam. Now that we have Ice Beam, we can easily defeat Rival 4. We can use Ice Beam on Pidgeotto, it's a 1-shot. We can use Thunderbolt on Gyarados, it's a 1-shot. At this point, Staryu could learn Swift, which would have been useful earlier, but c'est la vie. The only Pokemon not a 1-shot is Kadabra, doesn't even attack us. Ivysaur is a 1-shot with Ice Beam. Finally, it looks like this run is going to get a little easier, and to help even more, we're going to go to Saffron and get TM29 Psychic from Mr. Psychic. I do wonder, thinking back, whether it would have been better to save Ice Beam and just teach Psychic now. And the reason I'm thinking that is we want to use Psychic against Koga. Before we battle Koga, though, we should go to the Safari Zone. We need to go there anyway at some point, but in order to defeat the trainers in Koga's gym, I'd much rather use the same type powerful water move Surf, which is located in the Safari Zone. Even though we can't use it outside of battle, we can still use it in battle. And while even with a critical hit, it doesn't quite one-shot Drowsy, it still does enough damage to make the fight doable. Although, would have been nice if Drowsy didn't just disable it, but what can you do? I was really worried about knocking out these Pokemon, to be completely honest, because they are so high in special. But although they were annoying, neither of the mandatory jugglers actually defeated me, and I was able to make it to Koga. After thinking long and hard, I deleted Ice Beam, so I should have saved it. But look at the reward. Coughing is a 1-hit KO. Muck is a 2-hit KO with a special drop and a crit. As it would turn out, Coughing actually isn't a 1-hit KO, it's a 2-hit KO. And Wheezing is going to be a 3-hit KO. Sludge is okay, please. Alright, that was alright. That was really close. A little bit better luck. Don't forget, it's a 33% chance every time I use Psychic, a Pokemon special is dropped. If that happened on turn 1, Wheezing would be a 2-hit KO. So let's try again really quickly. So Coughing number 1 we know is going to be a 2-hit KO. X attack is fine. Next comes out Muck. Its special fell, so it's going to be a 2-hit KO. Coughing number 2. Critical hit, 1-hit KO. Ooh, crit and special drop. Self-destruct. Alright, let's try one more time. You can see I didn't save after I taught Psychic because I was really upset about deleting Ice Beam. Thankfully, Blizzard is more powerful and 90% accurate, but we'll worry about that a little later. For now, we 2-shot Coughing number 1, X attack is perfect. Muck, we get a critical hit. Surf is disabled, that's not a big deal. Coughing number 2, we get a critical hit. And Wheezing, no special drop, X attack, Toxic misses. Perfect. So we actually didn't take any damage, and at only level 36, we're able to defeat Koga with just a Staryu. Honestly, third try victory is better than I expected based on how this run is going, but I am still pretty upset with myself. I taught Ice Beam for just one battle versus Rival 4, when Psychic and Thunderbolt would have done the trick. That was really bad TM management by me, and I hope I don't get a Blizzard miss later, which costs me the run. But we don't have to worry about that for a really long time. What I need to worry about right now is Rival 5-0. He leads with Pidgeot, and I go for Thunderbolt. It is a 2-hit KO. That's okay. Gyarados is going to be a 1... No way! No way! Holy moly! I know that was a crit, but I can't believe Thunderbolt doesn't one-shot Gyarados. Let me try again one more time. So we're going to go for Thunderbolt. It goes for Wing Attack. It actually goes for Quick Attack, so we're at half HP. And Leer, so we are going to make it to Alakazam. First comes out Growlithe, easy one-shot with Surf. Now here comes Alakazam. We outspeed, but we're not even doing half. Psybeam doesn't quite knock me out, but this battle is super over. I could either use my rare candies or battle some trainers, but I actually have an idea I think is a lot better. Since I have defeated Koga, I can go to Cinnabar and battle Blaine. And even though I only have 4 badges, I still have a pretty good feeling that Blaine and Blaine's gym is a really good place for Staryu to be. And this is a mistake I sometimes make in these runs, where I'm having a little bit of trouble, and I get a little overconfident, and I don't level up enough. So because once I defeat Blaine, all these trainers will be unbattleable, I'm just going to battle every single one of the trainers in Blaine's gym. There's a lot of them, and each one of the Pokemon are going to be one-shot by Surf. So it might cost me 5 in-game minutes. Knowing how long these runs take, that's nothing. And the gain is massive. By the time we battle Blaine himself, we're at level 39. We outspeed and one-shot Growlithe, and Ponyta, and not Rapidash. I thought we would, but we don't. And probably not Arcanine. We do a lot of damage. Takedown thankfully misses, so we actually do first try without taking any damage. Kinda lucky that we didn't take any damage, but it would have been a first try victory unless we got horrendous luck. But now that we've defeated Blaine, where do we go next? We didn't gain that many levels. How is this one gym badge going to make Rival 5-0 so much easier than what looked to be an almost impossible fight? Well, longtime viewers of the channel already know this, but for you newcomers, introducing the second act of the Badge Boost Glitch. No, seriously, the Badge Boost Glitch. So when we get Blaine's badge, every time we use Harden, our special goes up a little bit. And while I could give you some numbers about how much better it's going to be, why not just look at how much more damage it does to Gyarados, but more importantly, how I won... Oh, well, we would have one-shot Alakazam if I didn't get a crit. We actually got kind of lucky, and no, we level up. Okay. So the Badge Boost Glitch gets canceled when you level up. So we have a bunch of defense boosts, but we don't do more damage with Psychic. We actually do pretty decent. Half damage isn't bad. Had we had the boosts that we had prior to leveling up, we would have beaten Venusaur. So I'm either going to need to use a rare candy or battle a couple trainers and manipulate my experience points. I do prefer using rare candies as late as possible, and these trainers, like trainers in gyms, once I defeat Giovanni, are going to be unbattleable. Unfortunately, while I do level up, and it's this battle where I realize setting up against Pidgeot is ridiculous. I only set up 3. Think about it and realize, hey, we're still gonna one-shot Pidgeot and Gyarados. Why not set up against Growlithe, which can do nothing to me? In fact, Growlithe actually uses Leer, which not only allows me to use another Harden, but that also contributes positively to my special. That's right, even when the opponent uses Leer, Tail Whip, Growl, it raises my other stats. I have so many badge boosts, this should be really easy, right? We one-shot Alakazam, that's not bad, but we level up. And because we level up, Venusaur uses Razor Leaf, Light Screen wouldn't help because it's a crit every time. So, I don't know, we're just gonna have to use a rare candy. Now that we're at level 42, I've done the math, we will not level up. We one-shot Pidgeot, but that's only because we got a critical hit. Gyarados is a one-shot without any badge boosts. For the record, we do get plus 12.5% normally once we get the 7th badge. It's by using Harden and getting those additional badge boosts that is the glitch, right? The badge boosts are part of the game. The glitch part is that we can stack them on top of one another as we modify our stats. And knowing exactly how many to use is a little bit trial and error. So let's just use all 6 Hardens, and if Growlithe uses Leer, it uses Leer. I mean, maybe we'll use a couple more, but there's no need. We're going to one-shot every single one of these Pokemon, and even if we got a critical hit, which we don't against Alakazam, and we don't against Venusaur, yeah, pretty good. Now, as I go and get Lapras, which I still need because I need a Pokemon to use Strength, I do want to address something. I'm sure some of you feel something like this. Jaros, I never used Badge Boost as a kid. It's changing these challenges, man. Can't you just use the Pokemon as Game Freak intended? Harden isn't supposed to boost special. Occasionally I get messages like this. And my response is simple. Gen 1 is a broken generation. I fully intend to do this in other generations. I mean, I kind of have to. We're eventually going to run out of videos. And whether it be Gold, Silver, Fire Red, Leaf Green, every game is going to have some unique quirks. This is what Generation 1 is. This is how it worked. Whether you knew what you were doing or not, every time Growlithe used Leer, your special was going up. The only difference between our playthroughs back then and these playthroughs is I actually know most of the mechanics of Generation 1, and I'm using them to my advantage the same way I would moves, abilities, IVs, etc. At the end of the day, this tier list is kind of just for fun. While I think the rules make sense for me, they are somewhat arbitrary. Why not save between gyms? Why not do this? I don't know, that's how I play as a kid and the way I think it makes Pokemon the most fun. You guys seem to like it, and frankly, I don't bring this up because I'm trying to convince anyone of anything. I just think it's an interesting discussion. And to be perfectly fair, it's way more interesting than the extremely easy Giovanni battle you had to just sit through. Alright, but moving on, we have 3 gym badges remaining, and we have to pick between the 4th gym leader, Erika, and Sabrina. I do think Erika, despite the type disadvantage, will be easier. I use Psychic, it does one-shot Victory Bell. It doesn't one-shot Tangela, so I set up 1 Harden, because I know it'll one-shot Vileplume now. Erika would have been difficult and maybe would have required Ice Beam if I battled her earlier, so I intentionally saved her for towards the end because she doesn't give me any badge boost. The only mandatory use of strength is after you defeated all the gym leaders in Victory Road. We are going to go and get strength and get the rare candy because rare candies are great. But if I'm going to be honest, the main reason I battled her now is I'm more worried about Sabrina. But at this point, I don't have anyone else to battle, so let's hope for the best. She leads with Kadabra. I'm just going to go for Surf. She goes for Disable, and it misses, so we knock it out 1 down. Next comes out Mr. Mime. We go for Surf. It goes for Barrier, which does nothing. So another 2-hit KO, and no damage on Staryu. Not bad. Venomoth is weak to Psychic. I'm going to use it. It doesn't quite one-shot. Stun Spore misses. Okay, it's a grass move, which is why I think it'll always go for it. That would have been bad, but 3 down. Finally, we have Alakazam. We go for Surf. It does about a third. Psybeam crits and confuses. Oh, gosh. Well, that's the battle. I'm going to go for Surf. I don't hit myself in confusion, and Alakazam misses. All right, I'll take it. That was crazy. The critical hit, the confusion. I think that's only like a 10% chance of Psybeam confusing. All right, that was awesome. That was pretty cool. Had I lost, Mr. Mime only has Psychic, so I could have set up all 6 Hardens against Mr. Mime, but I won, so we don't have to worry about what could have been. The final gym leader is Giovanni, and to be quite honest, I'm about as worried about him now as I was in Sylph Company. I don't see the need to set up badge boosts. We're just going to go for Surf against Rhyhorn, 1-hit KO. We outspeed, one-shot Dugtrio with Surf. Nidoqueen one-shot with Surf. Nidoking one-shot with Surf. And Rhydon one-shot with Surf. That's 5 one-shots. It's been forever since I've done that. And speaking of forever, it usually takes me an exceptionally long time to defeat Rival 6 in the Elite 4. To be quite honest, in real time, it often takes longer to do just these 6 battles than the entire rest of the game. To be honest, Staryu has been doing better lately, but I still think this is going to be a very difficult few battles. Pidgeot no longer has Sand Attack, so I'm going to try and set up my badge boost against Pidgeot. Unfortunately, it does have good speed and crits, and eventually I'm down to 34 HP, so I'm going to go for Thunderbolt. It goes for Quick Attack, so 24 HP. We don't knock it out. All right. Thankfully, it doesn't go for Quick Attack again, but that's less than ideal. Now the next Pokemon is Rhyhorn. Surf would knock it out without any badge boosts, but we're going to try and use Harden 3 more times. 6 badge boosts. Can we sweep? Hopefully. Gyarados, we're easily going to one-shot with Thunderbolt. Not worried about that. Growlithe, we're easily going to one-shot with Surf. Not worried about that. Alakazam, I'm not so sure. I go for Surf. No, it's just doing over half. It goes for Recover, so it's going to be a 3-hit KO. I go for Surf. It goes for Psychic. It knocks me out. Now, I'm prepared to use my rare candies here, but I just want to try one thing just to see if it works. So, we're going to go for Thunderbolt against Pidgeot. It gets paralyzed. Whirlwind doesn't do anything. We knock it out. Now, we're going to set up 6 Hardens against Rhyhorn, but it could be more because Rhyhorn knows Tail Whip. And it uses Tail Whip a lot, which is massive. Because not only does every time it use it contribute to my badge boosting, but also I'm able to use another Harden because my defense is dropped. So I've gotten up, I don't even know, like 12 badge boosts. So this should easily sweep through the rest of Rival 6's team. Only one way to find out. We're going to use Surf, knock out Rhyhorn. Thunderbolt, knock out Gyarados. Surf, knock out Growlithe. Surf, knock out Alakazam. Uh-oh, we level up. Ah, no! Alright, I think we're going to need to use at least 1 rare candy, maybe more. It was the right idea, guys. It was the right idea. But I think we needed something like 10 to 15 experience points less to not level up. So that's annoying, but this is definitely going to work. Pidgeot's annoying and goes for a Quick Attack, but we get a critical hit, so we have 83 HP. HP doesn't really matter, since Rhyhorn can't do much. I mean, Stomp can hurt a little bit, and Fury Attack wastes time, but we really want to see Tail Whip. We've set up 5, and uh-oh. Alright, we're going to have to just go for it now, because we are at 33 HP. We know we're going to one-shot all of the Rivals Pokemon, even if we get a critical hit. up until Alakazam, so nothing to really say about them. We know we won't one-shot Alakazam. It does go for recover. Another Surf. Close. Recover. We win. We win. Unless Psychic somehow doesn't one-shot Venusaur, that's it. And we get a crit. Come on! Alright, let's try this one last time. We go for Thunderbolt. It goes for Agility. It goes for Quick Attack. 83 HP again. Harden, Stomp, Harden, Tail Whip. Harden, Fury Attack. That's annoying. Harden, Tail Whip. Alright, we're good. Another Tail Whip. Alright, this is good, guys. We should be able to get enough badge boost. That Tail Whip missed. And, oh, come on! Alright, we have 5 HP. We have to just start attacking. Surf, knock out Rhyhorn. Thunderbolt, knock out Gyarados. Surf, knock out Growlithe. Surf, knock out Alakazam. And we knock out Venusaur. Great, that worked really well. If that's how difficult Rival 6 is going to be, that does not bode well for the Elite Four. I mean, listen, it worked, but there was a few things that could have gone wrong, and when they did, I pretty much was just done. Wasn't a lot of opportunities for me to recover, so to speak. I could use my rare candies here just to see how the battles will go, but I don't know, it's my first time. I just kind of want to see what the battles are going to look like, and as I always say, there's only one way to find out. So I anticipated Dugong using Rest. I go for Surf, and there's Rest. We can start setting up Harden to set up badge boosts. I'm able to set up 2 before Dugong wakes up. I set up a 3rd. Growl misses. I actually wish it would have hit me. I set up a 4th Harden. Takedown's not doing very much because it does boost my defense. I use Surf, hoping it'll go for Rest. It goes for Growl. That's just as good. I set up the 5th Harden. It's still sleeping. I set up the final Harden. And now I can go for Thunderbolt, and it still doesn't one-shot Dugong. It's not going to be able to attack me, but that's not a good sign. Funny enough, Cloyster actually isn't as bulky in Generation 1 as Dugong, at least when you're using a special move. So we do one-shot. That's 2 down. Slowbro is pretty decent in terms of special, but we do one-shot. That's not bad. But Jinx is even bulkier in terms of special, and it's not weak to any of my attacks. I go for Surf, and you know what? That's doing pretty decent. If I use my rare candies first, that would be good. I'll know that for next time. Super Potion means Jinx won't attack me. And we level up. So I think we lose. Or wait a minute, no. Lapras is just going to go for Body Slam. I have a ton of defense. I go for Thunderbolt. It's doing like nothing, but neither is Body Slam except for paralyzing me. Lapras now outspeeds. I can't attack. It still outspeeds. Thankfully no crit. Still can't attack. And there's Confuse Ray. I'm going to lose, but hey, I at least did it. Hey, critical hit. One more, we win. It goes for Confuse Ray again. I snap out of Confusion. 3rd time not being able to attack due to paralysis. Lovely. Lorelei goes for Super Potion, and we hit. All right, not bad. First try victory against Lorelei. No rare candies needed. Didn't like that I leveled up in the middle of the battle, but that's okay. We will probably have to level up before doing this again, and we'll make sure we're at a point where we don't level up before Lapras. The next battle I'm not worried about at all. It's Bruno. Bruno is usually bad, but I have Psychic and Water moves. This is going to be an absolute joke. Against Onix number 1, we're going to use Surf, knock it out, 1 down. Hitmonchan, we're going to use Psychic, 1 shot. That means Hitmonlee also will 1-shot. Onix knocked out with Surf. I don't think we'll 1-shot Machamp. We don't, but Focus Energy is useless, and we win. And we level up. So at this point, I think it might make sense to use my rare candies, and my reasoning is simple. I want to see if we're going to outspeed Agatha if we're 9 levels higher. One of the most important things to making Agatha's battle at least semi-consistent is outspeeding her Pokemon. I'd love to one-shot, but Gengar has a ton of special. That's not going to happen. At the very least, going first will give each Pokemon 1 less opportunity to attack. Will it be enough for me? Probably not, but only one way to find out. Alright, so I'm at level 60, I go for Psychic, and it's doing about half. Gengar doesn't go for Hypnosis, it goes for Nightshade. Ton of damage, but we can work with that. 1 down. Now, Golbat might be a 1 KO. I'm going to go for Psychic. Not quite. Wing Attack does decent damage. Enough that if the final Gengar uses Nightshade, if we get that far, we'll lose. We do knock out Golbat, though. Haunter hopefully will be a 1-hit KO. I doubt it. It's not. But she withdraws to Arbok. Oh my goodness, this is huge. Because now Arbok won't get an opportunity to attack me. Nor will Haunter. Oh my. Now the only thing we need is for Gengar not to use Nightshade. We win if it doesn't. We use Psychic. It's doing over half. Toxic. Oh, that was anything but toxic, Agatha. That was perfection. I'm a little surprised we've made it all the way to Lance on my first try. And remember how I said I was really annoyed I didn't have Ice Beam for later? Well, this is where I wanted Ice Beam. We're going to delete Psychic. We no longer need it. And we're going to teach Blizzard. It's a more powerful move. And it's 90% accurate. But that 10%, we're going to use it a bunch of times. Odds are it's going to miss once, and it could miss at the exact wrong time. Really nothing I can do about it, but I'm just impressed we've made it this far. Let's see if we can make it to the champion on our first try. Lance leads with Gyarados. We're going to go for Thunderbolt, 1-hit KO. Dragonair, we're going to go for Blizzard. We hit, 1-hit KO. We level up, doesn't matter. Blizzard hits Dragonair number 2. Obvious 1-hit KO. We outspeed and hit Aerodactyl. 1-hit KO. We outspeed and hit Dragonite. Oh my goodness, guys. We've made it to the champion, but I did make a mistake. In hoping to outspeed Agatha, I overdid it on the rare candies and did not save one for the champion. We could have used the badge boost glitch against Pidgeot, which can't do all that much to me, and probably swept through most of the team. Unfortunately, that's not an option. We're gonna level up in between, not actually exactly sure when. But hey, this isn't meant to be the final battle. It's our first time. Let's just see how much damage we do, and we'll go from there. So I do need to set up a bit because Alakazam is still scary. I go for Harden. Pidgeot uses Mirror Move. That's Harden. That's great. I use Harden again. Pidgeot goes for base 35 Wing Attack. Does like nothing. I'm going to set up one more Harden. It goes for Wing Attack again. That leaves us at 110 for Alakazam. I'm going to go for Blizzard. We hit. Obviously going to knock out Pidgeot, one down. Next comes out Alakazam. I outspeed. I go for Surf. And we do over half. Uh-oh, Psychic. No special drop. We're going to knock out Alakazam. That's massive. But we don't level up. I wanted to set up against Rhydon. We just missed leveling up after Alakazam, meaning Rhydon with Leer and Tail Whip cannot be used to set up the final 3 badge boosts. We're going to go for Surf and knock it out. There are only 3 Pokemon remaining. You can see we level up here, but I have an idea. We're not going to badge boost against Gyarados. We outspeed. We one-shot with Thunderbolt. Our Canine does have a defense-lowering move. We have 3 Hardens left. 3 badge boosts plus Blizzard. Is that going to be enough for Venusaur? Or will Arcanine knock me out first? I go for Harden. Arcanine goes for Leer. That's 1 badge boost. I go for Harden. Arcanine goes again for Leer. Oh my god. I go for Harden. That's 5. Roar does nothing. I go for Harden. That's 6. Leer at 7. Alright, I think I'm getting greedy at this point. 1 more. Why not? 8 badge boosts. Roar isn't effective. Don't forget, Arcanine's pretty fast. It could get a crit at any point. Still, I go for another Harden, and it does nothing. No badge boost. I've maxed my defense. Roar doesn't do anything. All right, it's time. We're going to use Surf. It's super effective. And so long as we hit with Blizzard, I think we win. Guys, hit, no crit. Hit, no crit. Hits, no crits. Yes! I can't believe it! First try victory! Oh my! Staryu! What a star, man! Oh my! I'm actually astonished. That's not even a move till Gen 3. What a bad joke. But seriously, it sucks that it could not get past Brock. If only Staryu started with Water Gun, this may be the fastest first form Pokemon in Gen 1. Instead, I think it finds itself among good company. I'm going to put it in the same tier as Bellsprout and Poliwag. It did beat the game at a lower level than Bellsprout, but with half an hour longer. Then again, Bellsprout didn't waste as much time versus Brock. And while I would be tempted to put Staryu higher, it's not like Bellsprout struggled against the Elite Four at all, and Poliwag did the challenge with the minimum possible battles, which probably costed a little bit of time. So I do think Staryu's placement is more than fair. Even though there is very little time difference between it and Mankey, I do think in terms of difficulty, there is a massive difference between those two tiers. And that's all I have for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I have so many more videos coming out, so like I said, like, subscribe, support the channel. You're the best. Take care.